fantastic to meet you. If you could just start off by introducing yourself, that'd be great.
Absolutely. My name is Saleh. I'm the CEO and part-time janitor at Gravity. Gravity's a energy and carbon management platform, fairly buzzwordy space. So in practice, what we do is carbon accounting, corporate disclosure, and excitingly, we do behind-the-meter energy projects.
So just tell me, if you can, about your involvement in Procurement Supply Chain Live and Sustainability Live.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just put on a comedy routine for you guys. No, I was on a fantastic panel about decarbonization, especially in the wake of evolving policy and regulation. And outside of that, I got to go to a Cup Suite last night and was joined by incredible sustainability leaders. Cups won as well, which is always a W. I don't know if that's controversial for the audience, but it's been a spectacular event.
Let's dive that little bit more into the session then. What were the kind of key themes to emerge and the key topics that were discussed throughout?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the overarching tone was, can we identify the challenges to taking action here? And what we focused on, particularly kind of from the Gravity voice, was the cognitive challenge, because I think it's mostly perceived and not actual. Not to play down the difficulty of taking action in this space, but I think there's both a perception of labor costs as well as a perception of fiscal costs when it comes to energy management. On the labor side, it's, first of all, identifying it, measuring your emissions, all this stuff, which I think a lot of people have been sold a promise of automation that unfortunately has lost its power. A lot of people no longer trust that, and we want to make the kind of power of technology streamlined measurement so you don't have to waste a lot of time on the labor side. From a fiscal cost perspective, we like to talk about the $2 trillion elephant in the room. Specifically in the US, there's $2 trillion in inefficient energy spent. The projects to reduce that are cost negative. They're things your CFO is excited about. And so what we really want to do is whenever we hear, what about the cost of decarbonization? We mean the benefit of decarbonization, and really invert this good for the world, good for business, to say good for the business and good for the world. And so that's where we spend our energy.
It's a great way of putting it. I just wonder, from attendees, have you been able to kind of gauge whether it was from maybe questions in the session or maybe just other conversations you've had throughout the event, what's really on their mind at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's strangely a cathartic sigh of relief given some postponings of regulatory disclosure. It doesn't translate into inaction. It actually translates into those calories going to the areas we're excited about. So I've found that where historically a lot of people have used the buzzword of value creation in a very generic sense, a lot of people are like, we actually have 18 months that we expected to allocate to a very intensive measurement cycle, and we still want to use those calories in some other place. So a lot of our conversations have actually started from the tail end of narratives historically. It used to be measure, disclose, act, and it's like, well, we might as well act for a second. We have that opportunity, which I find to be incredible. Those win stories are the ones that make all the other things worth it, and so the tone in generally is a lot more optimistic than I think people would perceive.
And just finally, we're here at Procurement Supply Chain Live Chicago in co-location with Sustainability Live Chicago. Why would you say it's beneficial or important to bring together execs from those different areas under one roof?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't have to tell this audience too much about Scope 3, but supply chains are the kind of behemoth that people are often phobic of when it comes to taking action on carbon. But I'd say outside of that, so often the procurement team is one that's a dollars and cents based team. And they truly make decisions based off of the pragmatic results that they have for their business. And I want that mind melt to happen. I want sustainability leaders to come to this problem with that same thought path. If this becomes rational and evergreen aligned, political oscillations, economic oscillations won't matter. This will just be the pragmatic thing to do. And so bringing those minds together is fantastic.